And the sensational suicide case of TV actor Tunisha Sharma has shocked the entire industry. As probe in the case deepens, more and more startling revelations have surfaced. It's now emerged that Tunisha had lunch with her ex-boyfriend Sheezan just 15 minutes before she allegedly died by suicide. She was found hanging in the makeup room for the television serial in which both were working together. The question is, what went wrong in those 15 minutes? When Tunisha was having lunch at 3 p.m., what prompted her to take her own life at 3:25? Cops are investigating Sheezan's role in Tunisha's suicide case, and sources have told Times Now that Sheezan was questioned by the Walid police DCP, to whom he has told that both their families were unhappy and so they broke up. We're also being told that Sheezan has been changing his statements continuously. He's changed his statements 17 times and is pretending to be sad because of Tunisha's suicide. The police is investigating the mother's claim as well that Sheezan used Tunisha and then left her. Listen in to her mother.
शीज़ान ने तुनिशा को धोखा दिया, उसके साथ पहले रिलेशनशिप बनाया, शादी का वादा करके फिर उसने तुनिशा से ब्रेकअप किया और उसका पहले किसी लड़की के साथ इन्वॉल्वमेंट थी। उसके बावजूद भी तुनिशा को उसने इन्वॉल्व रखा अपने साथ, 3-4 महीने उसको यूज़ किया। बस मैं इतना कहना चाह रही हूँ कि इसको सज़ा मिलनी चाहिए, शीज़ान को नहीं छोड़ना। मेरा बच्चा गया है।
Now, sources have also told Times Now that the contents of Sheezan's phone are being probed to see whether he was in touch with any other girls. The secret girlfriend list is allegedly under the scanner. However, police is also probing whether Tunisha spoke to this girl and whether this was brought up at the last lunch that Tunisha and Sheezan shared.
मुझे लगता है तुनिशा शर्मा प्रेग्नेंट थी, जिस कारण उसने अपने बॉयफ्रेंड शेज़ान खान से शादी करने को कहा था। तो हो सकता है उसने शादी करने से मना कर दिया और जिस कारण वो ये स्टेप उठाई। मतलब लाइक वो डिप्रेस थी इनसाइड से। आई मीन समटाइम होता है लव अफेयर चलता है तो फिर उसमें लड़ाई झगड़ा, डिप्रेशन, टेंशन, ये सारी चीज़ें होती है। मुझे नहीं लगा था उसको मिलके कि वो मतलब सुसाइड भी करेगी।
It's really shocking to hear this. I never thought that she would take such a step and, kill herself or, do something like this. It's really sad and unfortunate what she had done. I don't know about their personal details, whatever happened between both of them. What transpired, what happened between, what kind of relationship they shared. It wasn't like, confirmed that they were in a relationship or not.
Meanwhile, a political war of words has erupted between the BJP and the opposition after the BJP alleged that high-profile suicide case was a case of forced conversion. The opposition has slammed the BJP, alleging politics is being played on the issue.
You're watching the News Hour first. Debate number 2 on Times Now. Super Prime Time.
All right, Ratan Sharda, Ravi Srivastava, Tehseen Poonawalla continue to be with us. Joining us on the panel is Shweta Shalini, who's a spokesperson of the BJP. But I first and foremost want to go across to Sunir Vadera, the co-actor of Tunisha Sharma. Sunir Vadera, what exactly was happening here? Perhaps you are the best place to tell us because, you were there. You would have seen what was happening between these two individuals. What really was happening in terms of Sheezan as well as Tunisha? What have you seen and what is your impression?
सर मैं शुरू से था इसमें अलीबाबा में शो में, और मैंने 6 महीने तक साथ में काम किया है। और मेरा और तुनिशा का ही सीन मोस्टली होते थे। 90% सीन जो मेरे वो तुनिशा के साथ हुए हैं, बाकी एक आधे सीन जो हैं अदर एक्टर्स के साथ हुए हैं। बट शीज़ान के साथ कभी मेरे ऐसा ऑन स्क्रीन कभी मुलाकात नहीं हुई, कभी सीन नहीं हुआ है हमारा साथ में, बट मिलते ज़रूर थे। तुनिशा के बारे में बात करूं अगर, तो वो इतनी पॉजिटिव लड़की, इतनी एनर्जेटिक लड़की, इतनी पैशनेट लड़की, काम को लेके कभी सोचा नहीं था कि वो इस तरीके का स्टेप उठाएगी।
कभी शीज़ान का जिक्र किया था?
नहीं सोचा था। जब भी मिलते थे
तुनिशा ने कभी शीज़ान के बारे में जिक्र किया था आपके सामने?
हाँ जी, मेरे सामने ही थे, दोनों मेरे सामने ही थे। दोनों की दोस्ती सेट पे ही हुई है, दोनों की मुलाकात। क्योंकि क्या होता है ना, जब लीड लोग काम करते हैं तो ज़्यादातर टाइम साथ में बिताते हैं ये लोग। 12 घंटे की अगर शिफ्ट होती तो कम से कम 8 से 10 घंटे साथ में ही रहते हैं। तो उन दोनों की दोस्ती बहुत अच्छी थी, दोनों की ट्यूनिंग बहुत अच्छी थी, टाइमिंग बहुत अच्छी थी, केमिस्ट्री बहुत अच्छी थी, जो कि स्क्रीन पे भी दिखती थी।
और पिछले 2 हफ्ते में कैसा था माहौल?
रहता था, तो दोस्ती तो बहुत अच्छी थी जी। बट अभी क्या है, मैं 2 महीने पहले मैं शो छोड़ चुका था, मेरा ट्रैक ख़त्म हो गया था। तुनिशा के साथ ही मेरा लास्ट सीन हुआ था जिसमें तुनिशा मेरा मर्डर करती है। उसके बाद से फिर मेरा कभी जाना नहीं हुआ, कभी बात ज़्यादा हो नहीं पाई। तो ये जो चीज़ें हुई हैं, जो जैसे कि आप बोल रहे हो कि रिलेशनशिप है या लड़ाई झगड़े हुए या डिप्रेशन है, वो शायद हो सकता है।
Let me just come into the political aspect of it because Shweta Shalini, Sunil Vadera, आपके पास अभी आएंगे हम 2 मिनट में. I just want to quickly bring in some of the other political panelists as well because Shweta Shalini, your party and your party's leaders have said that all aspects need to be probed, including if there was a forced conversion angle. At this stage, because the police, and we're just going purely by what is there before us, at least the police says that does not seem to be the case. Is there something specific which your party is referring to, or is the reason why you have come to this conclusion? Shweta Shalini.
Madhavji, all we are saying and all my party leaders are saying is that the probe has to be done in different angles and in all the angles. That's exactly what it is. You just heard what the mother said. You heard there has been a letter which has been written by the Senior Workers Federation also to the Honorable Chief Ministers, asking them to ensure that a SIT is set up. She was a promising young girl who had stood up on her own. There was no reason at this point of time why she would kill herself. But yes, so there needs to be a probe, and that's all our leaders are saying, that look at every single angle. Please do not miss it, because we can't end up losing young talent like this. Young, promising, young people like this.
No, but Shweta Shalini, the reason I'm asking you this question, to be very fair, is that when this entire Aftab case came up, there were people who jumped the gun and immediately said this is Love-Jihad, etc. So many months later, we're not the wiser for it. At least there's nothing that's come on record through the course of a very thorough investigation that proves that. Is it a similar thing that we're seeing over here? People coming out and making unsubstantiated claims because the opposition is accusing you of making these claims with a political intent.
What is there? Where is the political intent? You think we've lost a singular life? Constitution says that every life is important. We've lost a life. We are sitting in the government. What we are basically trying to say is, please probe the case. This is our responsibility.
No, probe everybody. No, I don't think anyone's spoken out against the probe. They're saying that, comments like forced conversion, comments like Love-Jihad, are we jumping the gun on that? Because the cops yet haven't found it.
Madhavji,
And let me bring in Ravi. All right. Shweta, before you come in, let Ravi Srivastava make that point. Yeah. I want to just quickly bring in Ravi Srivastava. You can respond to him. Ravi Srivastava. What would you say to Shweta Shalini on this? Because she's saying we are just asking for a probe. We're not saying anything more than that. Please respond to her.
First of all, so far what I have seen in the whole case, I don't find any kind of a criminality over there. It's a simple, plain, I have my condolences for the deceased girl, that suicide. But what I want to say is that I don't find any criminality in this. As far as the probe is concerned, let the probe be there. But Love-Jihad is all a foolish kind of terminology.
No, the mother claims that Sheezan betrayed Tunisha. The mother claims. Ravi Srivastava. The mother is claiming that the girl was cheated by this boy Sheezan. That he was allegedly seeing somebody else. We don't know the veracity of those claims but that's the allegation.
My plain submission is, every mother and father clearly know what their child and children are doing. This is a fact. And nobody can hide and say that, look, my child was innocent and your child was a criminal. It is absolutely incorrect. They all know very well that what their child is doing, to what extent they are meeting, what are their relationship,
so what are you
everything
saying?
is known to them. What I'm saying
are
is
you trying to shame the victim?
That my daughter,
Mr. Ravi Srivastava,
was by the other person. What does that make sense?
Mr. Ravi Srivastava, what are you saying? Are you shaming the victim today?
They are adults.
Are you shaming the girl who has died by suicide?
No.
What are you saying, Mr. Ravi Srivastava?
What I'm saying is that they are adults. They know very well what they are doing.
No, adults also can make mistakes. Ratan Sharda.
Why do you call such people?
Ratan Sharda.
I'm not seeing any criminality.
Okay.
This is what I have said.
Okay, Ratan Sharda.
See, Madhav, I am very well aware of what is Love-Jihad. I have been fighting against Love-Jihad for long. I have been on the social media very clearly. But I think in this case, we would rather not talk of Love-Jihad. It is proven. To me, it's a case of betrayal. It's a case of one adult betraying the other. Unfortunately, the today's very free love lifestyle, where people go in for living relationships, they live together, they have romance in the film industry, especially for their own TRP. And when such things go awry, there are serious mental issues. I've talked to psychiatrists just a day back before this happened, and he said every day I get some young woman and sometimes boy also who have been ditched, who have been betrayed, who think of suicide, who have mental issues, serious disturbances, depression. They need to be treated. But so problem is, how do we create an atmosphere where young boys and girls who go for these kind of relationship realize there can be ditching also, there can be betrayal also. So this is a case of an affair gone wrong. Whether it's, when he said, I read in the TV today, he said, because of Shraddha Walker case, he ditched the girl. That is very stupid. That is at all very vicious argument. Because did he believe that he was going to cut this girl in 35 pieces? This is vacuous argument. This makes me feel there is something wrong. Right. There is something where this boy has done which has been very serious issue. Like one girl said she was pregnant or I do not know. My issue is this kind of lifestyle where young boys and girls go for these things, then they get into serious psychiatric issues.
I think there is a point. And I think there is a point in somewhere in what you're saying, because it may or may not be about live-in relationships, but certainly it could talk about workplace pressures for the TV stars.
Today knows what the boys and girls are doing. I'm very sorry to say.
Yeah.
Mr. Ravi doesn't know today's lifestyle. They don't tell where they're going, what they're doing, what is happening in their life. They don't open up. That is the new life, whether we like it or not. That is why a role of psychiatrist and very careful parenting is very important. And neither condemning.
I just want to buttress what you're saying by reading out a letter of the All India Cine Workers Association. It's signed by, Shamlal Gupta, who's the president of the AICWA, and he writes, and I'm going to ask Tehseen this question. Tehseen, they talk about the number of suicides in the television industry that's increasing day by day. The same is being overlooked by reasoning the same to be an outcome of heartbreak. However, the same reasoning cannot be associated with every incident. Entire industry is in danger. Male culprits rooted in the said industry are betting such suicides must be unveiled to ensure safety to everyone associated with the said industry. They've even asked for an SIT probe. So we all know the uncle of this girl is on record to say that how 10 days ago she suffered a panic attack and had to be rushed to a hospital. Now, whether there is a heartbreak angle or not, the fact is that this also refers to a larger malaise in the TV industry, as this All India Cine Workers Association president seems to be suggesting. Tehseen Poonawalla.
Yes. While I'm on the opposite side of the spectrum, I actually for once agree with what Shweta says, that every life is one life too many. So this must be thoroughly investigated. So that's point number one. But Madhav, we have a very serious problem in our country, and I don't want to make this political. The NCRB report released by the Honorable Home Minister of India said 164,000 people committed suicide last year. Out of which, you'll be stunned, Madhav, 51% of these suicides were women, and out of these 51%, a staggering 40% were housewives. So there is a massive issue with domestic issues that are leading to suicide in India. That is problem number one, which we need to all address very, very seriously. Of course, number two was unemployment in India, but I don't want to take that debate today. Let's talk about these women, or these young men and women who are committing suicide because of domestic issues. Now, they could be couple or they could be husband and wife. So it's not just limited to TV industry as entertainment. It is happening in all industries that we know now, that there is suicide, there is pressure, there is domestic problems. What India needs to do is, rather than make this communal in any sense, come together and see how we can support people who are committing suicide. Can we have better helplines? Can we have better counseling? Can we have help reach them ASAP? Can we have, for example, as they said that she was depressed and she went to a doctor a few days ago, could that doctor follow up? What is the method states can do, because this is a state subject, and the center can pitch in so that we bring a solution to this problem? Even if 51% of our women are committing suicide, some of them housewives, I think it's wrong. I think we need to help. And I hope the investigation is thorough on every angle so that justice is delivered to this girl, her mother satisfied. And if this boy is innocent, he'll be let free. If he's guilty, he'll be held guilty. I don't think there's any further angle to look into this.
All right. Shweta Shalini, quick closing comments from you. We are almost out of time. Quick closing comments from you.
I think for the first time, I completely agree to Tehseen Poonawalla. I think every angle must be investigated and the guilty should be punished. And if somebody is not guilty, he should be let free.
All right, we'll have to leave it there. Shweta Shalini, Ratan Sharda, Ravi Srivastav, Tehseen Poonawalla, and of course, Tunisha's co-star on the panel, Sunir Vadera. I'd like to thank all of you for joining us. We're not much the wiser as to what really the cause of this is, but certainly we hope that the investigation reveals whatever was the real cause behind Tunisha's death, because this is certainly one death that has shocked many across the country. Thanks so much for joining us this evening on the News Hour.